Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. You know, it's the end of August and it's a beautiful day today. It's not even going to be that hot out and low humidity, so it's, you know, a good morning for doing some of these videos where I'm just not sweating. But anyhow, today I thought we would go harvest some of these beautiful mountain spring tomatoes. So thanks for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. So these mountain spring tomatoes are right here in my 18-foot by 30-foot raised garden bed. And you know, a couple of years ago I added a wood frame border around it to raise the soil level in there. I added a little bit more topsoil and some compost. But in here I have my peppers growing. I have some classic eggplant. I have some crimson plum tomatoes. But right here is where I have some of these tasty and delicious mountain spring tomatoes right there. And so I have one row of 6 down this row here, and then I have one more of these plants right here in the front. And these have just really been growing beautifully in this garden here, and I have them planted in my 6 mil polyethylene plastic. And you know, peppers and tomatoes and melons, they love warm feet. And so I also have some irrigation here for my plants using my 1/2-inch PVC. And these plants have just flourished under this plastic. You know, the plastic holds in the soil moisture and it keeps their feet warm, and it also suppresses the weeds. And so let me grab my basket and let's just start harvesting some of these beautiful tomatoes. So I even have some of these tomatoes down here in the front here. The branch is kind of falling over. But you know, I use my heavy-duty tomato cages for these, and they work out really well for these mountain spring tomatoes. And so let me just harvest some of these here. And then maybe I'll get my scale and we can weigh some of these tomatoes. But right now, these plants are starting to die back some, and so it makes it really easy to be able to find the tomatoes. And so let me just harvest a few more of these, and then maybe we'll weigh a couple to see what the average weight is. This basket's really getting nice and heavy to hold. And so let's take a look at some of these beautiful tomatoes. So I'm over here at the end of my raised bed here at my workstation, and I have my scale here, and I have some of my tomatoes. So let's pick one of these tomatoes out of here and put it on the scale here. Let me zero the scale out first, and then let's just put a tomato on there and see what it weighs. And so that one weighs 10 ounces. So let's just take another one out of here. Put another one on. 9 ounces. But that's a good sized tomato. 8.7. So you know, let's just take 4 of these tomatoes and put them on here. See what they weigh. So you can see they weigh 2.5 ounces or pounds. And so you can see just from 4 tomatoes you have over, 2.5 pounds of tomatoes there. And so It's just an amazing amount of tomatoes that you can produce and harvest from your garden. And I also bought these tomato plants from Ray's nursery nearby. You know, you can get a market pack of these for $1.60, you know, so they're really very affordable. Or you could also start these by seed indoors. You know, it's another great money-saving way to have your tomatoes. But anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here harvesting these beautiful and red and tasty Mountain Spring tomatoes. And let me encourage you to think about growing these in your garden. And you know, we use these a lot for sandwiches, you know, because they're nice and juicy. And that's one of our favorites, or we put them in a salad. And these are all, you know, you can also put these in your, for salsa, or even if you make a sauce, you could add these. But you know, for sauces, we prefer to use the plum crimson tomato or the Roma tomato. You know, they're a thick, meaty flesh. And again, these are great for sandwiches. You know, nothing like a nice fresh tomato sandwich when these start to come in the harvest. And so anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And you could also visit us at plantsmartliving.com. So anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.